WNEM-TV5 News starts right now with a breaking news alert.
A lot of us are here today because our families are impacted, because we are all damaged. And that's the sad thing. I don't think it's obvious after today. Mr. Snyder does not get that yet. He cannot wrap his mind around the immense amount of damage.
It is as if we really don't matter to those in power, but Flint lives matter.
Flint lives matter. Flint lives matter. Flint lives matter. Flint lives matter.
Yes.
A highly anticipated day ends with anger for people who came by the busloads from Flint, all to watch Governor Snyder testify in Washington, D.C. Today was the third congressional hearing on a public health emergency over lead and other issues affecting Flint's water supply.
Yeah, the lead, as we've reported, leaked from pipes after the city began using corrosive water from the Flint River while the city was under state control. Testimony over who was to blame was contentious. Listen to this exchange between a Democratic congressman and the governor.
You admit here today to seeing headline after headline about health problems, hair loss, rashes, E. coli, bacteria, sewage, Legionnaire's disease. Did you read any of those stories, Governor Snyder?
Congressman, I read a number of those stories. What I would tell you is those stories, we would follow up on them and continue to get reaffirmation from career bureaucrats that the water was safe. That was wrong.
Republicans on the panel say the EPA deserves the blame in the crisis. And here to break down today's testimony is Gino Vici. He joins us live in the Continuous News Center. Gino.
Colette and David, well, you know, basically there was, today's hearing came down to this. If the governor wants to be accountable, there's only one thing left to do. That's resign.
And I've had about enough of your false contrition and your phony apologies.
Who is to blame for the public health crisis in the city of Flint? That's the goal of a nearly week-long hearing on Capitol Hill. Today, Governor Rick Snyder took some harsh criticism for his handling of the decision to switch the city's drinking water supply to the Flint River.
And this is a terrible tragedy. This has been the humbling experience of my life.
I believe for the citizens of Flint, it's been far worse than just a humbling experience.
To walk away.
During the time of the switch, Flint was under the direction of an emergency manager appointed by Snyder himself. For that reason, some lawmakers blasted Snyder for reacting slowly to several indicators that Flint's drinking water was unsafe.
These are the stacks of edicts issued by your emergency managers, not by the City Council of Flint. Now, do you know how many of those 8,000 pages dealt with meaningful steps to protect the citizens of Flint from lead flowing through their pipes, Governor? Your appointees?
No.
Not one.
Lawmaker after lawmaker called on the governor to resign, but Snyder insisted he was being accountable by being committed to fixing what many are calling a national tragedy. But some House lawmakers question if remaining in office was truly being accountable.
And accountability for those that you held accountable. You said you fired or they resigned. What does accountability look like for you?
And finally, as one lawmaker pointed out, Snyder staying in office for the people of Flint is only adding insult to injury.
Susan Hedman from the EPA bears not 1/10 of the responsibility of the state of Michigan and your administration, and she resigned, and there you are, dripping with guilt, but drawing your paycheck, hiring lawyers at the expense of the people, and doing your dead-level best to spread accountability to others and not being accountable. It's not appropriate.
Well, David and Colette, there was also mention that perhaps we'll never know what really happened or where that breakdown of communication occurred. That's because some administration officials in Snyder's administration have refused to testify. Live in the newsroom, Gino Vici, WNEM-TV5.
All right, Gino, thank you. And if you didn't catch the TV5 live stream of today's testimony, you can watch it in its entirety by going to the TV5 homepage.
And among the people watching today's testimony, the mayor of Flint. She was one of the people beating the drums early and loudly when that crisis began. James Felton talked with her and people in Flint about what they heard. He continues our team coverage.
We've been waiting for this because we've been looking for some accountability. That's one of the things we know we deserve as a result of what's happened.
Watching Governor Snyder testify before members of Congress has been a long time coming for Karen Weaver. The Flint mayor is like many people in the vehicle city who placed the blame for the water crisis squarely on Snyder's shoulders.
It's hard to believe that people didn't know things, that people didn't step up and do things.
Weaver hopes today's hearing will help lead to justice for the people of her city.
We would like to know who knew what and when they knew it, and whatever the consequences are of being held accountable are. That's how it goes.
Meanwhile, other people we talked to are sounding off about our governor's appearance in the nation's capital.
Well, I think it's about time to speak up and really tell the people what really took place and what happened and why the situation got like it is.
Finally testifying and get him out.
Well, if he tells the truth, I think he should testify.
We don't trust him. We don't believe that he's going to even go to Washington and tell the truth. He's going to try to place the blame on someone else.
Blaming someone else is happening all too often, Weaver says. She tells us while everyone is trying to get to the bottom of how the crisis happened, more needs to be done to end it.
We still need to get pipes. We still need to get services and supports in place for our kids and families that have been affected by this. We're still using bottled water. So while they continue to point fingers, we need some money.
Reporting in Flint, James Felton, WNEM-TV5.
And coming up at 6:30, CBS News will take a broad look into today's developments. Adriana Diaz will have a report from Washington, D.C. Then Anna Werner will look at the voluntary testing in Newark, New Jersey. That's where concerns are mounting. Thousands of children might have been exposed to lead poisoning from school drinking water. And as always, TV5 will bring you continuing coverage of this story on air, online, and on your mobile device.
Well, the winds are slowly going away, but get ready for the temperatures to go down as you take this live look over Bay City and Saginaw tonight. Chief Meteorologist Brian Bachman is here now with the first look at your forecast. Hi, Brian.
Hi there, David. That's right. A little bit of a revolving door today. We've had showers, we've had sunshine, we've had clouds, we've had windy conditions, and some of those showers have had enough oomph to them to even produce a little bit of small hail similar to the thunderstorms we had yesterday morning. So a little bit of everything across the board today, and it remains breezy and a little bit on the grayer side in most locations tonight, as evidenced by our look here at Owasso High School. Current temp 44 degrees, but still very breezy. First 1.5 Sky Tracker just showing all of these showers popping up. They're convective showers. That's why we've had the potential for that hail, and also seeing here a little bit of blue shading on the Sky Tracker there. There is a little bit of evidence to support the fact that some snow showers may start to break out or at least mix in with some of these rain showers as the night goes on, with colder air filtering in. Already down to 39 in Houghton Lake, but hanging on to the upper 40s to low 40s in most other mid-Michigan locations this evening. But it remains very breezy, and it's going to stay that way through most of the overnight. Overnight lows headed down into the low 30s. Break down what's ahead for your weekend coming up.
Thank you, Brian. We are working to learn when a former teacher will return to court on criminal sexual conduct charges. Vaughn Canamore waived his preliminary hearing. Now, Canamore is accused of having sex with a student at Charlton Heston Academy, that's in Roscommon County. The reported victim is between the ages of 13 and 16.
A large search is being organized for a man who vanished after walking away from his job. The family of Robert Billingsley is asking for people to volunteer their time. The Bay City man has been missing since Monday, and his family believes he's still in town. They're using Veterans Memorial Park as their base. If you want to help, you're asked to be there Saturday morning at 9.
When your children are in school, you want them to be safe. So imagine learning that a man wandered in and frightened the people there. It happened at a local elementary school. Nick Lully has more on what police say he was doing.
The kids today need to be protected.
Lynn McMahon is like most parents. She wants to see her kids and grandkids do good. That's why she's alarmed that a man tried to wander into nearby Westdale Elementary School early Wednesday morning.
There was no indication at all by talking with him that he had focused on the school or targeted the school.
Saginaw Township Police Chief Don Pacell says the man was suffering from mental illness when he sought entry into the school. Officers later discovered him nearby and took him to the hospital for treatment. The good news is, police say, is that this all happened before the official school hour started, so there was only a breakfast event going on at the school. And in this case, Pacell says the system worked.
I credit the school personnel that when he approached them, he said, "No, you can't come in here," and he walked away.
That's a relief for McMahon. She says nothing comes before the safety of children.
Safety is priceless.
Reporting in Saginaw Township, Nick Lawley, WNEM-TV5.
And the man is recovering at Covenant Medical Center in Saginaw. There's no word on his condition.
Well, the Major League Baseball season may already be over for one player.
Yeah, find out why first baseman Adam LaRoche says he's hanging up his glove.
And local high school kids are going to feed the hungry. Their efforts, nothing short of massive. We'll explain.
You're watching TV5 News at 6, serving Auburn, Shields, Flint, and your hometown too.
It's coverage you can count on.